Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Police vow to clamp down on masterminds of planned revolution march in the country. Say action amounts to treasonable felony as DSS arrests former AAC presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore. Police in Ogun State confirmed the rescue of 5 persons kidnapped on the Sagamo-Benin Expressway as one of the victims the council healed. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo calls for genuine dialogue on the farmer and herders' crisis in the country as he meets with representatives of the Fulani in the southwest at his residence in Abeokuta, Ogun State. And Sudan's military rulers and main opposition coalition reach agreements to pave way for a new transitional government following the intervention of the African Union. On our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com. youtube.com/channelsweb has videos of all our shows. No fewer than 4 persons have died from the flood that swept some parts of Yola, the Adamawa State capital, yesterday evening after a heavy downpour. The rain, which started about 5 p.m. on Friday, lasted for over 2 hours, resulting in heavy flooding which swept 2 children, their mother and another adult. Traders at the popular grain market have also been lamenting the extent of damage done to their goods.
Major roads, houses and offices in the heart of Yola, the Adamawa State capital, after a heavy downpour. The gridlock that follows, particularly along the airport road and Jambutu bypass, paints a real picture of the extent of damage done. The heavy downpour indeed wreaked more havoc. Residents of Katsina, Katako, Saminaka, Wauro and environs are now displaced from their homes. 2 children, their mother and another adult also lost their lives to the flood.
Flood everywhere. It's really terrible because normally when rain falls like this in Bachure side and other side of the Jimeta, you find out that mostly the culverts and the gutter are blocked because of how people misuse the gutter.
Others who were lucky to have escaped being flushed by the raging flood tell the story of how they pulled through.
When we are blocking the waterways and everything, protecting something, we just hear the fence at the back just failed, and the volume of the water just came. It overpowered us. We cannot do anything again. We have to rescue the children on top of bed because they were sleeping. I have to back them one by one. My wife back one, I back one. We have to go and, take a safety in the upstairs. This uncompleted building.
Traders at the Yola popular grain market are also lamenting. They say they have lost so much to the flood.
In fact, we have a lot of damage here, of which it consumes millions of naira. But we thank God, as far as the deputy governor is here. We have been here for long. We have never ever seen a government that came here as the one of today. So we thank the government and we assure this government will help us.
The state deputy governor is here to assess the level of damage, and he feels the devastation is beyond what the state government can handle on its own.
Adamawa State government cannot do it alone because the burden on Adamawa State government is too much. We have the issue of IDPs, we have the issue of Boko Haram, we have the issue of herdsmen and farmers. So this problem alone, Adamawa State government cannot do it alone. We will appeal to the federal government. As soon as possible, they should come to our aid. If not, things will get out of hand.
Trying times indeed, but residents are optimistic for the best and can only wish for timely intervention as the rains continue to come hard on them.
A similar disaster occurred in Imo State, where traders of a popular market have been appealing to the state government and the other relevant authorities to come to their aid in finding a lasting solution to the flooding that has continued to destroy their goods and livestock. This call is coming a few days after a heavy downpour displaced and sacked hundreds of traders from their shops, destroying goods worth millions. Our correspondent, Eyitokwe Kutei, has this report.
This is the Imo Modern Market in Obowo, popularly called the Malaysian Market, located beside the bank of the Imo River, a boundary between Imo and Abia State. With about 3,400 shops, it could be regarded as one of the biggest markets in the state. But in recent times, traders in the market have faced a major challenge: flooding. Although rainfall seems to be a major cause of the flood, the proximity of the market to the Imo River is also a factor, as once the river overflows, it takes over the entire market due to the lack of proper drainage system.
If you go around the market, you see that some shops were locked due to the flood. You can see all these things now. The shop owners have put some blocks so that water will not penetrate.
The incident has compelled most traders to desert their shops for better places, with others left at the mercy of the disaster. They seek swift intervention from the government at all levels.
The experience is quite alarming. We have been suffering because of the drainage is not true, and whenever the rain drops, everywhere will be flooded with water. It has been damaging. We have serious damages in this market. Both rice, beans, any type of business you are doing, the water will flow into your shade and you will be having damages.
A lawmaker representing Obowo in the State Assembly says plans are underway to provide a lasting solution.
Today we have come on site to see what has happened. The damage is still there. The marketers, the traders are crying. You know, you will see that some parts of the market is yet impassable. You could still not access the shop. People are still waiting for the water to recede and subside for them to be able to access their goods. Most worrisome is that in the area of the market where we have livestock, you see that the submergence of those areas occasion the death of those livestock, and then loss on the part of the marketers.
While these traders await government intervention, they will have to endure the reality now till help comes your way. Eyitokwe Kutei, Channels Television News.
Away from flood stories, more than 147,000 hectares of land have been recovered across 7 local government areas in Katsina State over the last 5 years, and that's according to the European Union-funded project known as Improving the Fuel-Wood Balance. Now, under that project, 7.14 million trees have so far been planted in the last 5 years.
This land has not always been like this. A combination of drought and deforestation have rendered it a desert and is not suitable for family. In the last 5 years, the European Union and the Katsina State government have been working to reclaim the land. The target is to plant and maintain 5.5 million trees and disseminate 35,000 efficient clean cook stoves. The aim is to discourage use of wood for cooking.
The mandate of the project was to plant and maintain 5.5 million trees and also to produce and disseminate 35,000 efficient clean cook stoves. The combination is to increase afforestation by planting more trees, and then if for a reason of use of fuel wood, that is firewood, there is an alternative to reduce indiscriminate felling down of trees.
Aside from recovering over 147,000 hectares of land in less than 5 years, the project has produced over 48,000 efficient clean cook stoves and reached out to over 373,000 beneficiaries, particularly farmers.
Each year, the state government is making a production of seedlings of associated economic and tree crops. So you see, with the state government and this project, a lot of achievement is made through this joint effort.
The farmers should know that the danger in destroying forest will affect them more than even the government. Because if there is serious wind, there won't be protection for their houses. So it is in their own interest to reserve the forest. And even the economic advantage of some of the trees will be for their benefit.
According to the Ministry of Environment, 1/3 of the agricultural land in Katsina State has been lost to desertification. The plan is to replicate the project across the remaining 27 local government areas in the state.
The coalition of Jukun youths and members of the Tiv tribe in Taraba State have been trading words over the security situation in Wukari local government area. The tension in the local government area has led to the closure of the Federal University in Wukari. Now, both the Jukuns and the Tiv in the state are trading blames over what led to the suspension of academic activities in the institution.
The Jukun and Tiv crisis in Taraba State is taking a turn for the worse as both sides trade blame over who and what is responsible for the conflict between them. The Federal University Wukari has suspended academic activities and closed down the school over security concerns after the protest by Tiv students over the kidnap of their colleagues. At this press briefing, the youth of Wukari stated their displeasure on the demonstration carried out by the Tiv youth in the institution, leading to the suspension of academic activities.
There is no such group called Jukun militias, as speculated by the Tiv youth in Taraba and other media houses. It is necessary to put the whole matter in proper perspective because the deliberate misinformation and misrepresentation of facts concerning the Jukun race serves no good purpose.
However, the President General of Tiv Cultural and Social Association, Goodman Dahida, denies the allegations and accused Jukun elites of being responsible for the prolonged crisis.
If they could say the Tiv people have held people, I'm hearing that for the first time. I have never heard that before. And if it is even that, if your people have been kidnapped, would you come and descend on innocent students? This is basically an elite fight against the Tiv people.
For the chairman of Wukari local government area, who gives an insight into the cause of the crisis and the way out, says the government is not happy over the spate of conflict between the Tiv and Jukun.
Let everybody mind his business. We should agree that we are all one. We should agree that we have a common boundary. Let everybody maintain his own common boundary.
Some residents insist the suspension of academic activities at the institution is uncalled for and state-managed, while traders lament low patronage of their businesses, especially around the university community.
Business is not moving again. Everywhere is trouble.
Wukari local government area of Taraba State has been in the eye of the storm over the Tiv-Jukun crisis, which has led to the loss of lives and property. Residents hope that government can step in to provide lasting solution to the conflict and bring about lasting peace.
When the news at 10 returns, Forex reserves dropped by $70 million to $44.9 billion in a week amid central bank sustained intervention at the interbank market. That's on Business News. Join us again.